Ra. Hello. Hello, friends. How's it going? Good evening. Kwapa, thanks for the 37. Thank you, thank you. Sunny, hello. Hi, Prime. JC, hello. Ru, hola. Conin, hola. Shones, my friend, how are you? Emirate, hola. Ewan, hello. How goes it, guys? You guys have a good week so far? Dio, guess which GB starts tomorrow? Yours? Is it the DCS PBT Hangul? Wow, right before the beginning of spring, huh? It's nice. Who are the vendors actually? Oh, I see it here. It's on Reddit. 6-7, buh. Oh, 6-7 indeed. Oh, damn. Oh, that was purposeful. ODM, thank you for 6-7. Thank you, thank you. Pretty cool. 120 for MX base, 140 for Alps base. Gorton Wise with the custom Hangul sub legends. Mikibo, Keycaps, and Prototypist. That's pretty nice. It's gonna be good. The renders look great, man. Looks clean. That's a lot of months. Holy moly! Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a lot. So as you can see from my desk, I have a lot of switches. And the reason is because I haven't decided what switches to use for today's build. So we'll figure it out. And today we're building a board that Novelty sent out, and this is on behalf of a designer studio called Artifact Industries. They had a previous release. I believe it was called which one was it? It was the Level, I think, right? And I remember the reception for that one was but this one I'm hearing a lot of excitement around it, and so I'm pretty excited to check it out actually. I have a week full of deadlines, manageable if accompanied by good keyboard streams like this. Oh, good. Oh, that's good. Hopefully it's a good stream, a good keyboard stream. To be specific. Nice watcher, Mr. Diego. Good choice. Thank you, thank you. I did switch it, and then I also put the Alhex cap on FN because I don't know. I just thought I would like it. Nitos, congrats for the W. Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen for that. By the way, we'll see. We'll see what we get in the mail. Do you like it? This and this? Yeah, I like both. I like both. So, Colonel Collins. For those who are unaware what that's about, there was like a artisan raffle earlier, sort of like a quick kind of like flash sale style raffle, and one of them was like a trivia question, and that was like the answer to, or almost the answer to the trivia question. I got it right, but another person also got it right, and it's hotly debated whether who was first. And so I think we're both getting something, but it was a giveaway, so you know, I'm grateful that I get anything. So so you know, whatever happens. It's all good. Okay, so let's maybe let's talk about the board first, and then we can talk about these switches. I have like 7 or 8 bags of switches over here. So let's the board over here. Not 6 or 7. Yeah, 7 or 8. 6 or 7. All right. 6 or 7. Yes. Okay. So let's take a look at the keyboard over here. So this is the Stratum-80, and so sort of the inspiration for the board is truly coming from sort of the way it looks from the side, and the idea is sort of like layering components. And so like Artifact Industries has sort of like gone with a design. Oh, it's like keeps not focusing. But it's an interesting board where they're like basically like layering different pieces on top of one another, and here essentially they have a base piece. It does have what seems to be a copper backplate here. I believe there is an aluminum one, and I think there's also brass. But anyway, so they have these backplates as well, and they're basically like kind of like layering a piece after a piece, right? And so this top over here, which is in green, is actually hot swappable in a way, because you have magnets placed onto them. And below those, below the top piece are also these gaskets that come in different sort of configurable, what does that say? I guess hardnesses or like softness, essentially, like different degree of flexibility. And so, and they kind of like have different shapes, so which is pretty cool. And so we can actually, you know, so you can kind of see this design is sort of interesting. It's very like rectangular in nature. Sorry, that's a kiwi fur probably. But you know, it's an interesting design, you know, where the bottom piece sort of has this part sticking out as like almost like a forehead, but it's sort of like not quite in line with the you know, with the left hand side edge of the top piece. And so, you know, it kind of serves like a forehead of this design, which is pretty cool. And then you have the top piece sort of just there. This one, I believe these all come in wind key configuration, and PCB wise, I believe they support 6 to 5U and 7U for the bottom row, and the rest is pretty much standard ANSI. I did see a ping earlier today from the Knowledge server that they got some feedback to add step caps lock support for the PCB, so they'll also have step caps lock support for the PCB and the plate, of course. So they're changing that for the production run, but for the prototypes right now we only have regular full touch caps lock. So, you know, this design, you know, opens up like this. Thank God. Yeah, I would have told them anyway if that like feedback hadn't been given to them yet. But, you know, the top comes right off with you know, 4 very strong magnets that is basically attached to this base piece, and you have there the top piece, and these are just slots for those gaskets to also fit. And as you can see, there are 5 of these gasket blocks on the top side, and then I think 6 of these gasket blocks on the bottom, where you also actually get the choice to, you know, remove them as you want. So you can also remove the gaskets if you so wish. So like, for example, if you don't like the spacebar one, you can definitely remove it. Or you can also sort of configure this, you know, modularly by just switching the gaskets that you want, or like these blocks that you want, to different hardnesses depending on what you prefer on, you know, as far as the typing feel of the board. So pretty cool. With the board also came a wrist rest, actually, in the same kind of design language, where you also have an aluminum base here with these bump-ons, have these gray aluminum base, and then it is sort of like slotted into a polycarbonate piece. And so the way this design is done is pretty intentional, where this stepped portion on the front, or I guess the back of the wrist rest actually slots to this part right here, you know, like when the top is on here, this actually sticks out a little bit towards you, and that actually, you know, the wrist rest was just pretty much perfectly slots on there, which is pretty cool. One thing I'll probably give feedback on is that there is always a chance of things kind of getting a little bumped up or scratched up based on the, I guess, like just metal to metal contact. So maybe I'll tell them about like how they plan on preventing sort of like scratches and such on the wrist rest. But you know, that's perhaps something that you would be concerned about over the longevity of the board and the wrist rest. Step caps and step rest. Yes, exactly. So you know, this particular PCB assembly was created in a way where you could kind of similar to the Neo boards or like other like other boards that you've seen with these kind of like quick, easy connectors, like magnetic connectors. So we currently have one of these magnetic pogo pin connectors, which actually appears to be different from the other ones that I've seen over the past few years in different designs, but it uses this 5-pin connector, and it appears to be right in the middle of the board, and it attaches to the opposite end on the PCB, and you have the gasket blocks sort of like just kind of sitting there, slotted in there. Optionally, you also have foam. So there is a thicker block of foam, looks like maybe like 3mm block of foam, and then there is below the PCB kind of block of foam if you want, that you can also put on there. And then I assume there is a PE foam sheet also in between over here. So I think I'm gonna take it all apart for now just to kind of show everything. Also because I'll have to put on stabilizers and everything. So I'm gonna, just take off the little like flex blocks over here. I'll probably force break it when building it initially. You wouldn't have to do that actually, because the design itself actually already has it sort of built in. So if you kind of take a look over here, underneath the magnet portions also, I think that this is actually pretty smart. So it's the same position where the magnets of the opposite, like the opposite, the pairwise fitting magnets are placed, and they've put a maybe it's adhesive. Yeah, I think it's adhesive. Like an adhesive silicone pad on top of that. So even if the case piece sort of like slams shut, you still have that pad essentially doing the force break kind of portion for you, in addition to these blocks also doing some of that dampening for the top and bottom piece. So it's kind of already built into the case, so you actually don't have to do any kind of like force break mod, which is pretty cool. There appear to be 8 screws that essentially adhere the base piece with a base plate. I'm assuming that there exists a daughter board within here. We can actually check that out. Let's take it apart. Oh, looks like it's Torx actually. Looked like hex for a second. So there is also, I don't have any extra base like weights essentially, but they are also technically you can have different pieces. There's an aluminum one, there's a copper one, and so on. I know that Alex recently did his stream with both the alu and I think the copper. So you can check out his content if you want to see what that's about. Okay, so let me see. Okay, all right. So this is the base plate. It's actually a thick piece of copper there appears to be a little piece of, this is on the interim, like this is a temporary solution to kind of prop up our this part of the base plate to match up with the magnetic connector. This is just part of the prototype, so you don't have to worry too much about that, because that will be in the production unit. You know, this will be pre-installed, and you know, it'll be like properly fitted and everything. This is just done as part of the proto because they're testing a few things. But it's a, you know, pretty hefty piece of copper, and there are two cutouts to match with the underside of the board, which let me try to move the small screws here so that they don't get lost. So on the underside, you basically have 4 long bump-ons, rectangular bump-ons. And so you can see here, artifact designed in Germany, which is pretty cool. And there is a daughter board that actually sort of extends this whole area. I actually wonder why they decided to go with sort of like a very long design. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Does it have? Oh, I see. It appears to be a diffuser over here as well. So I'm going to guess this actually has an RGB component basically currently hidden in view. But there appears to be a small polycarbonate bar over here. And that, I believe, should diffuse any lighting that's underneath it. So that's why this particular daughter board is not just a regular like C3 or C5, I guess, universal daughter board type, but it also has a long strip, I'm assuming, of RGB LEDs or something like that to illuminate that diffuser. And then, you know, with a small ribbon connector, there is a 5-pin like pogo pin connector. So that's pretty neat. So let's put this back for now. Dynabigs, hello. Mason, hi. How are you? Chef Mason. Anyway, Heidi, do you feel the build quality and materials are worth the price? Feels overpriced for the design and volume of copper brass? Well, we can see. I mean, this piece of copper actually kind of feels substantial to me. It's the only thing that might seem different otherwise is that it's like a very wide piece instead of a thick, singular, like more compact piece. So we can actually weigh it, because we can look at the weight and how it compares to you know, other things out there. So I'm grabbing my scale over here just to weigh the piece of copper. So this actually weighs 2 pounds. This is 2 pounds of copper. So 900 grams, right? 918 grams in this case. But, you know, it's a substantial piece of copper. It's a very wide piece, which makes it seem very little. But 2 pounds of copper is, you know, significant, I would say. Then this is, you know, without including the rest of the board. So it is a heavier sort of piece of copper. As to whether it's overpriced or not, I guess we'll have to build it to know. I would say when it comes to like more expensive designs, you know, there's many factors that go into it. Along that line, it's also like how complicated is the design itself to like machine and things like that. And so yeah. So let's place our copper piece in for now. So just sort of get slotted like that. Thank you for weighing in. I get it. I see what you did there. So hopefully there. Okay, perfect. Now let's for now put these screws back on. Yay, I love doing keyboard chores while you stream. Oh, nice. What you doing? Modding some Vint Pale Blues? What the? That's not something I hear about often. Has your GMK Gorp came in? Yeah, I posted photos of it. Do you not see my Insta posts? I posted on Instagram and I guess also my website. If you go to lightningkeywords.com, there's I built a spider and I put Gorp on it. Yeah, it did come in. Wait, how much is it? So this keyboard is on the pricier side, I think. Where's my? Do I have a build command ready yet? There should be one. Alright, let me just double check so I don't get it wrong for you. It seems to be about 590. Starts at 590. And depending on whether you choose brass, copper, or stainless steel for the bottom piece, it can be, you know, more expensive. You put on your spider. I saw your post on Reddit. My bad. Oh, no worries, no worries, no worries. But yeah, look good on the ice spider. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't think of that like right away, but it was because I saw Nick's 360C with the Gorp. It looks so good. He has that hyper silver colorway, which is sort of like bluish toned. It looks so nice. So yeah. 690 for brass weight has me reconsidering. It's pretty expensive. Like I don't know. Nowadays it's very hard to say like, oh yeah, like premium board, premium design, totally worth it. Because there is competition out there that's so much cheaper. It's frankly like difficult to be like, oh, super encouraging. But I mean, it's more so like if you are into the premium aspect of it, then like things that like line of like whether it's worth it starts getting blurry. So yeah. Okay, so let's take out the they take off the plate rather from the rest of the assembly. So right now I need to take this off because it's currently sandwiched together with these screws. Still really want it though. I think it's a very cool, like, I think the concept and the overall, like, we'll see. I mean, I don't know what to expect out of like sound and feel, but I think I can appreciate the modularity of it, like you being able to change blocks and that kind of stuff is always nice. It reminds me a little bit of like what I think Mode did those blocks as well, right? But I mean, these are like bigger. I think Mode did those like blocks as well for mounting. Like I remember on the Tempo they had those, right? The lattices, I think was what they called, but it's kind of like a similar idea. But yeah, it gives it some modularity. It's pretty cool. The lack of Oilers in this chat is disappointing. Where's Christian? I have no idea. I haven't seen Christian in so long, actually. Alright, so, oh, okay, so there is plate foam as well. So if you're a foam heavy person, you can get every piece of foam available to you. So it comes with the PE sheet as well as the plastic sheet. So, you know, if you want that. So let's take a look at the PCB briefly. So What up, Diego? Fresh cuts? Oh, thank you, thank you. I did just get a haircut. Yeah, it was getting really long, so I was getting really annoyed by it. So here is the PCB. It's pretty neat. Who designed it actually? Oh, is that Yankar? Oh yeah, Mr. Yankar. Yankar PCB. I'm surprised he didn't add the step caps lock for his own PCB. I guess well, probably he works based on like whatever KLE is provided to him and whatnot. So I'm sure every project is different. But yeah, step caps lock will be a thing. I'm sure it will be no issue because it's not like Mr. Yankar doesn't know how to do that. But yeah, 625 and 7U bottom row, and everything else is standard ANSI. So you know, 2U backspace and ANSI, like, you know, long shifts for everything. No splits for those, at least on this. And yeah, and then there is an indicator LED for the caps lock, which is neat. Bro got why I got Minecraft enchantment table. Anyway, pretty cool. Bro got mending and fire aspect 2 on his solder. I mean, on his hot swap PCB. Yeah. Okay, so we have the parts here now. These are my screws for the plate. So let's just put these aside for now. Okay. I'm just gonna put the little gaskets aside. Standoffs look fancy. Yeah, so the standoffs, so they're these ones are like pre-installed on this PCB at least. They're just like soldered on the standoffs. Yeah. And they, you know, obviously line up with the holes on the plate. Kiwi's going crazy. It's like playing in his tube. Oh well. Okay, so let us decide on what to do with our switches and build. So maybe, you know, the trend in the community these days is no foam for most things, unless people want it. So for now, it's up to you guys if you guys want it, but I'll have to prep some stabs too. I got some cherry stabs today. Put the foam aside for a second. Okay, so I got a bunch of switches for us to try. Well, I'm not trying all of them. We're just gonna choose what we want to do for today. So you guys can tell me. Oh yes, it's not the only top piece actually. I also have I think this is the gray. I have the gray top piece as well. So you get green or gray, so pretty nice. The bottom part is black. It's like dark gray. It's like black. It's closer to black really, but pretty nice. Actually, well, it's this part is dark gray. Is this all the same? No, it is dark gray. It's all dark gray. It's like it's the same kind of like dark cool gray. And then top I have a gray piece and a green piece. So pretty nice colors actually. They're nice colors. Okay, so let's talk about switches. So for switches, I have classics. I did see that Alex did some build with HMX switches, so I figured I'll bring the classics into the picture. So for linears, I have MX blacks and Nixies, still MX blacks essentially. I have Gateron switches. I have Gat Konsus, kind of a more like a louder switch, more muted kind of switch. This is Gat Yellows. And then I brought some HMX. I got some Sonias here. Those MX blacks look familiar. Yes, it's the ones that we've used in the past few builds. But I mean, they're handy because I've been using them on hot swaps. So I just have them there. It's kind of convenient to have them ready to go. And then on the tactile side, I have old MX Browns and MX Clears. MX Clears and MX Browns. So pretty nifty. I don't know what switch we'll end up using, but I only have one PCB, which is kind of a shame. So we'll pick something and go from there. Maybe I can swap just the switches afterwards. Yeah. So it's gonna be, I don't know if I think the poll only gives me 5 choices, right? Is there the straw poll still exist? It does, right? Okay, switch. Okay, let's see, MX Black, MX Nixies, I said, HMX Sonia, Gat Konsu, this is linear, so I'll put linear on everything, and then these are Gat Yellow, and then MX Brown, Tactile, and MX Clear, Tactile. And then try allow selection of multiple options. No, you guys just pick one. That's easier, I think. And then we can pick the most popular sort of switches afterwards. Oh, there's chat.vote. Oh, how do I do that? How do you connect it? Oh, sign in with Twitch. Oh, I have to do that. Oh, I get, okay. Okay. All right, connected. Now, how do you like, how do you do the next thing? Poll option. Okay, MX Black. Or just press enter. MX Nixie linear. Got yellow linear. Got Konsu. Oh, what switches? HMX Sonia. MX Brown. MX Clear. I don't know how this works, Drew, so you'll think you have to show the window on stream after. Oh, okay. Okay, I can do that. Wait, do I have just I can just move this tab over. So hold on. So I have it set up like that, and then I guess start voting, and then what is it? Do you just have to type the number in chat to vote? Type the number in the chat to vote, it says. Yeah, oh, there you go. Nice. Okay, cool. Pie chart. Oh, neat. First vote Pog. Yeah. You guys can vote that. For now, I'll wait. This vote's gonna be kind of split, huh? So not that many votes right now. It's like only 8 votes. I'm not sure how many viewers there are today though, so. It's not too many, so should be a small sample pool, I would say. What about MX clears? Are MX clears nice? You don't like them? Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna just start prepping my stabs. Haven't heard those in the board in forever. Yeah, I feel like I think I might be the only person who still uses them for like build streams at least. I've been using some every so often. Every so often I'll do MX purples or MX clears. I like medium big bumps, and I cannot lie. Yeah, exactly. I'm not a heavy tactile, MX heavy tactile kind of person. Does MX clear and MX blue have the same leaf that adds more tactility? No. MX clear has more tactility because of the shape of the stem compared to like an MX brown. But yeah, the clicky ones have a different leaf, I think. I like my Tober to be tactile AF, but MX switches gotta be linear for me. I'm kind of close to that camp. Not actually. Well, I would say I don't like I don't like ultra heavy tactility like Tober either, but I do like the sharper aged domes feel. I'm not like a BKE kind of guy, for sure. But yeah. $30 Tober save me? Wow, 30 g. Are you getting OEM 30 g domes or something? My 23-year-old domes feel so good. What is that? Pro 1? R3 STKL coming in soon. Oh, nice. Cool. Oh yes, voting is type number in chat. Type number in the chat. I'll leave it. I'll leave it on for now. You guys can continue voting. In the meantime, and I'm just gonna prep stabs. I'm gonna put these away. Like I'm just gonna put them around here, and we'll just use them as needed. Okay. Oh shit! The big raid, Mr. Alex. Hello. You're working late today. Oh yo, hello friends. How's it going? Oh okay. Hey chat, raiders. I haven't decided what switches to use on the Stratum-80 build. So the choices for the switches are shown in the screen there. If you type the number of the switch you want in the chat, you can drop the poll indeed. Yes. You don't have to redo it. You can just vote right now. It's still active, I'm pretty sure. I have a PC plate, by the way. I have a PC plate, and I'm not gonna use phone. Okay. PC plate. PC plate. I'm just prepping stabs right now, so I'm just gonna let y'all vote and do your thing while I prep stabs. Also, welcome raiders. Hope you guys had fun in Alex's stream. Where's my brush? We're using this poll website because I didn't have a enough options in the Twitch native one. Hi Kim. How's it going? Doobie doobie doo. Can they all vote for something other than MX Clears? Do MX Clears still have the majority vote? Oh, they're actually tied with Nixies right now. 27%. Wait, it's still active, right? Do I need to like have the window in view? No. It's still fine. 30 votes so far. Not that many. I am only in Alex's stream because I'm a masochist. Is it not because you share the name? Alex Deconing. Also, why do you say you're a masochist? Is it like a wee hour of the night type of thing? Are you like in a time zone that makes the stream times inconvenient? Alex bullies us actually? What the heck? Alex bullies? I didn't know that. I thought Alex was like the nicest guy ever. I didn't know. He is mean to us? Really mean? Whoa. Never heard. What the? Alex only reveals this side of him to his chat? Oh, I'm not privy to this. He's so nice to me. Nuh-uh. I think that is bias. Alex is not mean to me. Alquan, hi. Guys, type 7. Type 6, 7. It's an abusive relationship. He bullies us. We fight back. He blames us, etc. Damn. But also, hey, you're all growing as people. As you navigate this difficult time, tumultuous times with Alex on stream. Why is there no box navy option? Because I don't have any box navies available. Diego really said character development. It's for the plot. It's for the plot. Box navies would go crazy. Box navies could go crazy. Actually, though. I actually don't have any box navies on me, though. Like, not even kidding. I used to have a bunch of box jades and box navies. And I think... Are the pinks one also clicky? I think the pink ones are. The pink ones are, too. But I think I had, like, 3 different ones. And I had, like, a few hundred of those switches. But I gave them away. Just pull all my navies out of my Evo 80. Oh. I have jades that I'll never use. If I looked somewhere, I'm sure I could find some of those like OG keycap breaking box switches. I'm not sure where they might be. I'm pretty sure I might have. No, wait, actually no. I did move after I realized that they would break keycaps, so I think I threw them away. Jesus the ping? What did Jesus do? What ping are we talking about? It doesn't look like I'm dropping any frames at the moment. Y'all actually prefer Nixies over blocks? The cooler MX block? I don't know. I've heard people prefer MX blocks because they prefer the upstroke being more prominent on those compared to the milky top housings on the Nixies that sort of deaden a little bit of that upstroke sound. Because the downstroke is pretty much the same for Nixies versus MX Black. No plate foam either. Oh, TKL from hell. Oh, I see, I see. No foam clickies. MX Black betterest because they are cheaper. They actually are a little cheaper, I think, right? If you buy MX Blacks. I think Nixies do have a premium. Because of the price that I think Cherry put on them. Are Nixies much deeper sounding though? Well, so I think the deeper sounding part comes from the milky top, sort of dampening a bit of the upstroke sound. I think that's what usually happens. But I think it kind of depends on the build. I've sort of heard Nixie sound like not particularly deep, so I think kind of depends on how you like mod the switches, because some people like lube housings too, right? I tend to just lube the stem and the spring, but some people lube like a lot more. But yeah, usually the milky top will make the switches sound a little deeper. Okay, I'm gonna guess the vote is pretty much closed now. TBH, it might just be TBH, it might just mostly be Nixies don't get used on OEMs. Oh, I see. Like you're saying it's like a scale thing because they're not used on OEMs, so therefore they're pricier, or like they're priced more highly by Cherry, so you know when we get them through our vendors they're just more expensive anyway. That seems like a pretty reasonable explanation. This is certainly one of the more reasonable explanations I've heard, as opposed to it just being like a price set by Cherry and it has nothing to do with like demand or like, you know. Where can I vote? Oh yeah, just type a number in the chat. Maybe I'll just leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the poll. And wait, is that too small? Maybe that's fine. While I do the stabs, because I have to finish the stabs anyway. Diego, can I get a list of all the 2 voters? Why do you want a list? It's not, it's bad juju to talk about lists these days. Adam loves to point fingers. It's bad juju to reveal voters? Yeah, exactly. What the heck? Also, you can find them in the chat. You already probably know like 5 of them. There was only like 10 votes. Easy scroll up. When everyone arrived from the raid, it was still like 6 votes or maybe even fewer. So I'm sure you can find them. If you're like a list of 100 votes, okay, yeah, okay. Like that's tough. But it's 10. Oh, sorry, 11. Reckon nowadays the global economy doesn't really care about demand. There's a product for everything and everybody by design now. It's mostly scale now. You know. Yeah, it's true that there is kind of, yeah, there's like a product for everyone. The whole like tailor-made thing, personalized products or whatever. Yeah. That's true. Adam, you actually you have a sus user label on Twitch chat on the moderating side. Do you know that? Pretty much we don't do anything because we know you. Like 2 people have the sus label here? Yeah, it's like yeah, it's very few. It'll say why it gave it to me if you click on my name. I think you got banned somewhere. Why do you get banned for? Were you toxic? A few times? Whoa. What do you do to deserve it? I have like 11 bans in Alex's chat. It doesn't count? Oh. Guess that might be why. I'm the scapegoat? Prove it. Also, who is the one executing the ban? I think that's actually more of the key thing. Is it a mod or is it Alex? RueMC poses a philosophical question. Imagine a world where communication with digital devices is done by other means different from the hands, voice, eyes, thought, etc. Would you still use a mechanical keyboard if possible? Do you see yourself still collecting them in 30 years' time? Honestly, I mean, I think I would appreciate using a mechanical input device, yeah. I think just like most of the new things that come up in our lives, like from touchpads, like touch screens, and like, you know, like wireless things, like for convenience sake, I think sometimes like they'll just be like swappable items, right? I feel like you could use those for specific things for convenience, but I think for like other things, it might just be more convenient to have an actual mechanical input, you know, because you know it's part of the experience, kind of like, you know, you play games with a controller versus like keyboard and mouse, or like, you know, whatever it is, right? Sort of like that, like you define the experience based on the input device. So I would imagine I would still have some of the like OG input devices to sort of maintain that experience, but I think for convenience sake, like maybe like stuff on my phone or whatever, I could be using like that kind of like extra convenient wireless stuff. It's already been 10 years. What's another 20? Yeah, it's true. Drew has a point. Later this year, like by the end of this year, I'll have been in the hobby like 10 years. I guess if you count my first mechanical keyboard, I've technically been over 10 years. But since I got interested in the community aspect of it, 10 years around the end of this year. Isn't that crazy? There are people who collect classic cars and old computers and exactly that. Like, there's always going to be a niche interest in original, like, old devices, because it's just part of that, like, analog-ish experience that, like, is kind of irreplaceable by the new convenient input methods. So I would imagine, yeah, there would still be collecting. And I can imagine myself, at least, specifically, still having at least you know, one of those around. I mean, it's kind of cool, you know? I mean, people listening to, oh, I guess maybe vinyl is different, but there are people actually who still like have like CDs and like DVDs and Blu-ray and whatever, right? And it's kind of, I mean, the more time goes by, the more obsolete that's becoming, so yeah. Was your first board a Keychron? No. My first mechanical keyboard before I got interested in the community stuff was a Cooler Master. Quickfire Ultimate, I guess. It was the non-standard one. Ultimate, I think is the one. Quickfire Ultimate. It was not a QFR, it was like one of the full sizes one. The full size MX Brown boards. Got a Linkin Park CD, but I don't have a CD player. I hope it's the best CD from Linkin Park. Time to go thrift the CD player, I suppose. Yeah, just make sure it has the, what is the anti-vibration tech thing called? I forgot what it was called. Shit. The one that prevents the CDs from skipping. Fuck, I forgot. It better fucking be Hybrid Theory. Yeah. It's the newest. Oh. Okay, never mind. Does having a mechanical keyboard you didn't build from a kit count as being in the hobby? No, I think if you didn't build it, no, not really, no. I feel like you should have been using it. And I feel like being in the hobby requires you to be more actively paying attention to it. So unless you were doing that, no, I don't think it counts. Because I don't count myself as being in the hobby when I still had a full-size mechanical keyboard, because I didn't care about mechanical keyboards in particular when I had it. It was only later when I met people that cared about mechanical keyboards that I was like, oh, I'm going to look into mechanical keyboards beyond what I like the MX Brown full size that I have. That was when I personally considered myself in the hobby, and that was for me late in 2016. But I love Meteora and Hybrid as well. Yeah, of course. How do you feel about the Stratum's design? I think it's pretty cool. I mean, well, so far so good. I'm kind of curious how it will type. Okay, I think I'm done with stabs. So maybe now is the time we actually stop the vote count. Hobbies are a mindset? I mean, yeah, it is. The new Deftones album riffs? Oh, Deftones is good. Let's see. Oh, we have a tie between Nixies and Clears. Okay, we'll do one, and maybe I'll just, it's a hot swap, so maybe I'll just do one and then the other. Something like that. Alternate every switch? That sounds like a plan. Smart. Okay, I decided to go standard, so 625U for the bottom row, and obviously just ANSI for the rest. Now, she an ad. What did I miss? Not much, but it's honest work. Waiting for CDs to be back in style and people going hunting for CDs. Wait, why? Do you have a ton? Was that Kim? Was that? Yeah. Huh, Kiwi? Oh shit, where's Kiwi? He's over there, I think. Oh, this is interesting. He did north-facing orientation for the stabs. Oh, because of the standoffs. That makes sense. Standoffs. Oh, they'll get in the way. I think. I didn't take care of my CDs, me neither. So many scratched up ones too. Yeah, no, I didn't either. To be honest. I neglected mine. We had a lot of those binders full of them. Does this still work? Yeah, yeah, it does. I can get him. You guys want to see Kiwi for a sec? They're just there? Yeah, same. Alright, hold on. Kiwi, hi. Oh, good boy. Oh no. Wait, you don't want to go? Oh. He doesn't want to come because he's bathing. And I'm not sure if you guys have pets, but well, specifically cats, but when they're bathing and you touch them, they want to kill you. I don't think he wants that. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give you your points back. Was it Eric? Yeah, it was Eric. Refund. Okay. Bro, cats are the best pets? I agree. I think so too. I think most people, okay. So I grew up with dogs, by the way. I grew up with dogs pretty much most of my life. I had dogs for, you know, like my entire childhood. And I love dogs still. And but I feel like, you know, there is a lot of misconceptions about cats. People are like, oh, cats are mean and like, you know, all these bad things about them. But I think it tends to be the case that until you like hang out with a cat properly, you don't really understand them. They're just a little bit more complex, and so yeah, they're often misunderstood, I feel, at least just generally speaking. Cats are for caring people, dogs are for narcissists. So I was a narcissist my entire life until I became a caring person. Anyway, my dog doesn't try to kill me. Okay, so let's put switches and test the stabs. Really ruining all their hard work. My cat just stares sadly at me. Yeah. I mean, I love both, you know. I think actually Kiwi gets along with dogs better than with other cats, I would say. Before he was adopted, he I think lived with, or I guess maybe he was fostered for a little bit, and so he was with dogs for a family with a dog at some point, and so when he was a kitten, and so he gets along with dogs pretty okay actually. But with other cats, I think he might get territorial. Actually, it kind of depends. It depends on whether he's the one being visited by the other cat. Like if it's like if like a friend of mine, let's say, brings their cat to my place or something like that, like to our place, then yeah, like he'll have qualms with it. But if like we take him to somebody else's place and they have cats, he doesn't seem to have issue with it. But yeah. We doing PC Nixies today? Yeah, that's what the chat wanted. And then I think people also voted for MX Clears at one point, so we might switch them out for MX Clears later on. That's the right slot, right? Okay. All right, let me test my stabs first. Some dogs really make really good playmates with cats. Cats like their boundaries to listen to, and some dogs get it right away. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it obviously depends. I mean, it's like people, you know, like they all have their personalities and their differences with regards to that. So yeah, but yeah, cats are definitely more attuned to that interaction. I mean, I remember when I first met Kiwi, right? Like I was like I first, you know, like I like we moved, like, you know, my partner and I moved in together, and we were like Kiwi. Well, actually, Kiwi wasn't here with us. He wasn't. He was in he was somewhere else, and then we brought him, and he hid for like a solid week, like other than for food, because he was like, ooh, that guy creepy. I don't know, my ex told me all men were the same. Hear any rattle in particular. Maybe. So let's put these aside for now. I do hear some of the plate moving around a little, and that's probably because this little standoffs are bouncing against the plate. So I'm gonna put on those screws first. Mr. Perfect stabs over here? Not really. I actually get stabs wrong more often than you think, especially on my own builds. I think the only thing I just really watch out for is as long as they don't tick, it's fine. Also, I tend to find that if you're doing tactiles, it's a bit more forgiving because of the way the bump works. And usually, like, it's the most I guess susceptible to the ticking when it's at the very, at the very top. But once you're past that, the bump on the tactile switch, it just kind of collapses right down. So with tactile, stabs tend to be a bit more forgiving. Okay, should be good. All right, let's put the rest of the switches. Already it's 3 a.m. It's time to sleep. Damn, you're up late. Were you up late because of Alex's stream? Or you're just up late today? At least it's Friday. Tomorrow. So that's nice. Good night, everyone. Have a fun stream. Thank you. Have a good night. I blame Alex. Fair enough. Me too. I also blame Alex. I got the day off too. Hey, that's nice. Oh, I'm happy for you. That's pretty awesome. I wish I had the day off. Bedtime for me as well. All right, Alex. Take it easy. Put them gray keycaps on your other board. This one, GMK Hoodie. GMK Hoodie. H-O-O-T-Y. Oh, whoops, I think I bent a pin. Speaking of Hangul sets, finally DC's Hangul is coming. Yeah, we were talking about it at the beginning of the stream. The PBT one. Hoodie's a good combo with the Bauxite silver or the charcoal black top. Yeah, that would be a good combo. Yeah, bunch of sets would work with the neutral colors for sure. Oblivion, like Honeywell, ASCII, you know, Dolch, modern Dolch, etc. Is he gonna be thin or thick though? Actually, I think it's just a regular one. That's the dice up one, right? Okay. Almost done. Okay, let me see. I actually don't remember about the like these gaskets. So I think these are mediums. These are, I think, the hard ones. And these might be the soft ones. Yeah, okay. So soft, medium, hard. Like that. Yeah. Soft to hard. Okay. So we do have a PC plate, so I do tend to like pairing when it comes to gaskets. I tend to prefer pairing harder gaskets with softer plates. So since we have a PC plate, I might go with the orange ones. Okay. So now let's place these on. Would the orientation of these matter? Hi. Oh, me too. Okay. Okay. So let's see. The slots are okay. All right. So let's see. As long as I'm consistent, it should be okay, right? Let's see. So looks like there's a piece in the spacebar area too. Should we leave it on or should we leave it empty? Maybe I'll leave it empty for this time. I tend to prefer it softer for the spacebar. So maybe something like this. Also, like nice and even. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's try the green top first here. Boom. Look at that. All right. Let me just test that it's all good. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's working. And okay, let me just check here. Oh, scary. Sorry. Yeah, it's my USB hub, I think, probably. It does this weird thing where sometimes I plug in things and they like turn off the camera. But it only happens when the cameras are on. Usually it doesn't happen if I think the cameras are drawing too much power. Too much current probably. Because I have them on the power docks. But yeah. Rest in peace, Diego. He got hit by a bazooka. Boom. Okay. I thought I saw a redeem earlier. Am I wrong to think that? IMSTO Irish with green top. Oh, okay. How many gifted to split everything again? You can't! Oh, actually, no. 50. 20. 20, 20, bro. 20. 10, 10. 10, bro. 10 gifted. 10 gifted to split everything. Just kidding. It doesn't have splits. It's actually fixed on the PCB. What super key does the set have? Is it blank? I actually don't remember, Dura. It's been a while since I've looked at IMSTO Irish 1.25U keys. I actually don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll just have to look. I think I need to get it from a different board, like the alphas, because they're mounted. And hi, getting ready for bed. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna bring that set. Also, what do you say? Dio, can I see the back of the pink corn? Oh, back? Like here? Yeah. Whose is this so I can cold DM them? Me? Alright, I'll be right back. I'm getting the key set. Okay, I'm back. Someone was begging. Just kidding. He wasn't. But we often feed him a snack at night, so I brought him a snack. So let's treat him with a snacky. Okay. Kiwi. Alright, come on. Hold on, baby. Hold on. Okay. Wanna have some? Have some. You guys want ASMR? Listen to this? You guys can if you want. Okay, Kiwi. High five. Kiwi. Give me a high five. Busy. High five. Good boy. Other paw. Good. Shake, shake. Good boy. Shake, shake. Good boy. He's so good. Yum, 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 yum. Actually, Kiwi, can you up? Can you? Can you? Yeah, good boy. He has such good balance. He loves churu. He really does though. Every cat does, I feel. Okay, I'm not gonna torture you like that. Here you go. Wanna do your tricks again? No? Maybe not. Yum, 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 yum. High five me. High five. Kiwi. Oh, he's too busy chewing. Yum. High five. Oh, you're so good. Come on, shake, shake. Kiwi, shake, shake. Good boy. Shake, shake. Oh no, other paw, other paw, other paw. I got it. Other paw. Other paw. Okay, that's good enough. He's like, is my right paw the other paw? Don't know. Okay, can you lick that off? Okay, we're done. Thank you. That was it. It's over. Good boy. You did well. Stalling for ads? My ads are like worthless. What do you mean? What are you even talking about? The like 10 cents that I get from ads? Got it. Okay, bye Kiwi. Kiwi's leaving. A lot of fur. Yeah. Okay, so IMSTO Irish. Okay, so that's some of the keys here. I think that's Spacebars? Spacebars. How warped is my right shift? It's decently warped. Decently banana. Kind of similar to the BSP one, actually. It's pretty much same feel on the top. Huh, doesn't bind though, so that's good. Is this BSP IMSTO or KBC or Gateron? Pretty sure these are IMSTO, right? The blanks? Yeah, I think they don't look like Gateron to me. I'm not sure. Don't have all of them to distinguish, so not super sure about that actually. Is this the right one? Curdled Collins. Yes, Curdled Collins. Full caps lock? Yeah. Full caps lock. Full caps, full caps. Full everything. The hyphen was a personal unit? Yeah, this one? Well, I've built a few. I've built like 5 of them? 4? Yeah, I built a number of them. But yeah, one of them was mine. That was the last build I remember you had with this set? Yeah, because I never took it off. Why would I take it off if it's perfect? You know what I mean? For homing, it's scoop bar. Scooped and barred. Where's my tilde? Okay. How do you feel about the tolerance of the switch plate? Easy to install switches or a little too tight? I personally found them pretty good. I haven't tried like notoriously thicker switches, but with Cherry it was perfectly fine. The radius on the plate corners, on the switch plate switch corners was pretty sharp, so the insertion of switches was pretty simple, pretty easy. I found it pretty good to put the switches in. Didn't have any issues. All right. Let's put some artisans too. Maybe for one of them we can do this one. And I'll put the other on the side. We can put our wrist rest, even though I don't really use them. And then let's see. We can do a variety of these. Maybe we'll do this key walk. Very bright. Actually, you know what? Maybe not for that. Maybe I'll do. Not sure. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it like this. Then maybe this soon. I'm really into these. Is there anything else that's green? Let me see. Oh, you know what? I think I have one here. Maybe I'll put this guy here. Make the zoom pop a little bit more. Do you miss the sound test? No, not yet. Not yet. All right. Alrighty. There it is. Maybe BRG would have been nicer on this board? Maybe. It's okay. It's all right. Beige is fine. Irish is fine. Okay. Let's try it out, though. So let me set this up. Okay, so I think I'm all good here. All right, let's try it out, shall we? Maybe I'll move this a little bit down. Okay, so the first build, we have a setup with a polycarb plate and no foam, Nixies, and the hard orange gaskets, not on the spacebar. And for a key set, we have IMSTO Irish, which is a PVT set, PVT cherry profile set. And okay, hold on, actually, I think the focus is slightly off. I think it's because this is on, so I'm gonna remove that and adjust that slightly. There we go. I think that's better. All right. try it out. Nixies on a polycarb plate on the Stratum-80 with the hard gaskets. Pressed a bunch of the F keys. All right. Sounds pretty good, in my opinion. What do you guys think? I think it sounds great, actually. I actually think the PVT set works pretty well for it too. The typing feel itself is it's pretty soft. I wish I had the 3/4 angle cam still. Unfortunately it's not functional right now, so I don't have a separate angle for this. But the typing on this board is pretty comfortable. The hard gaskets with the polycarb plate personally are the play, because it doesn't make the polycarb plate feel like it's just gonna sink right into the board. But when I'm typing away on it, I definitely feel some of that, not vibration actually, it's not quite trampoline like, it's more like a soft bed throughout. And I can definitely feel that it's a nice and soft cushioned bottom out. So very, very nice. So yeah, I am using the orange gaskets. So I'm using these ones everywhere on the board except for the spacebar. Yeah. Let me go through the mods and not be all the way in. Very, very nice sounding up arrow. Very nice and crisp, like crispy sound from this board. It's a very, very nice sounding board throughout. I definitely do notice a little bit more of the like softness of the plate and the vibration sort of more on the edges of the board actually, like especially here at the nav cluster. I feel a little bit more of that. You can kind of see the keys here sort of sinking a little bit more. I think that might just be sort of, perhaps it might be the just like the empty part here that's affecting that. But overall, like typing on this feels pretty sweet. It feels pretty comfy. Yeah. Is that scoop bar FJ? Yeah, it is scooped and bar FJ. Yep. But super, super comfy actually. So this is it's a very nice sounding board actually. And I really like how the parts here sort of fit together. I do have a little bit of a concern over the wrist rest fitment though. Like, they're supposed to kind of slot in together, but there's nothing really to stop this metal portion to clink against this metal portion underneath. So a little bit afraid of things sort of scratching or whatever, you know. But yeah. How do you feel about 4-degree typing angle? So personally, I have some low typing angle keyboards. So for me, I'm not very strange by a low typing angle. I can see people feeling a little bit of discomfort over it because 4-degree is pretty low. I've had other boards that are like 5, 6, you know. Usually that's already considered on the low side. But I personally don't have issues with it because I also like hover my wrists typically when typing, and so or even if I'm like resting it on this wrist rest, it's not very like I don't like slant my wrist so much like this to type. I don't raise as much like this on my wrist, so I usually don't tend to have issues typing on different angles for typing angle. But I find it comfortable, but I know that some people might find it a little too flat. But I think for the look of the board though, it's really nice. Yeah, it's really not bad. But yeah, I agree with Drua. It's actually probably better for you to not use a very high typing angle keyboard in the first place. So it really isn't so bad. Right shift sound is doing things to my brain. Maybe it's a PBT. Sort of like resonates more on this one. Can you try gasket on spacebar? Yes, of course. Of course, of course. So actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but there is some lighting over here. Maybe I need to turn the light off. Hold on. Let me turn off the light and you can see it, probably. It's because this light is really bright. Yeah. So there's a little light strip here on this side as well. Yeah. Okay, so let's try. Yes, we can try a few things. So let's first take off this and try the gasket on that point as well. Can we switch to 7U? That would require me to unbuild everything and switch the stab. Yeah, I did 625 because I do like how 625 looks on WinKey cases like this one. Yeah, so I'll leave the wrist rest here. Actually, I'm gonna put it aside. Personally, I don't really use it. And just type some random stuff. All right, you can try it again. This time with the spacebar gasket on. Oh wait, it's not plugged in. Oops. Okay. Oops. want a Win keyboard so I can use colored Win keys. Yeah, so personally not a huge fan of the gasketed spacebar. I'm not sure how you guys what do you guys think about it, but I feel like it kind of dampens the spacebar quite a bit. Wonder if the weird spacebar sound is from the TX dabs bottoming out. I'm using cherry clip-ins. What are you even talking about? Not sure if y'all talked about it before, but what do you think about the pricing of the board? It's definitely on the expensive side. Like, you definitely are paying a premium for the board. I mean, like, you know, let's be real. Like, the competition out there is pretty fierce. So I think most keyboards really above like the 550 range is pretty expensive, you know. And I think it starts at like 590 with the alu bottom, right? So when you talk about the, you know, right now we have the copper weight plate on it, that is like 690, right? And so so it's pretty expensive. I do think the thing about this particular case, at least, is that it's a pretty big case. Like there is a pretty big bottom piece, and the top piece is also like, it's just a pretty big case with big bezels. The amount of we weighed this copper backplate earlier, and it was like what, 2 pounds in weight. So you know, it's substantial, I would say. Does it warrant the premium? It's a question that's really hard to answer because it really depends on the supply line. Like it really depends on what it costs them to make it. Is it worth it to you to pay to get the keyboard? I think the keyboard itself sounds pretty good though. It sounds and feels pretty good. The fact that you can actually you know, change things up pretty easily is quite convenient. That said, you know, other keyboards you can also unbuild and rebuild any amount of times you want, right? So it's, you know, it's always hard to justify expensive keyboards, but if you love the design language, then, you know, maybe that'll help. But yeah, it is very visually unique for sure. I do like the overall like design concept to execution. I think from where they came from in terms of like, oh, let's do this thing called the Stratum-80, where the idea of it is to have layers, right? Like a sort of like a layered look to the board, and let's kind of build up from a base up to the rest of the case, and like it'll be like nice and swappable and all these things, all these features. I think they executed that really nicely. I think that was pretty masterful and pretty nice. But does it justify the price? I don't know. The gaskets are open source and downloadable right now on the site, so you can design your own too. Yeah, so the design of the gaskets does depend on what you decide to shape them as well. So you can see, well, I guess technically more so like this. The orange ones are inside of the board, so I can show you that again later. But yeah, the team that works that worked on this design, and they work with, you know, they do the artifact industry stuff. They are actually pretty accomplished designers. I think Mike said something cool about them actually. What did he say? He told me a fun fact. Fun fact about the team behind it: they are Noto Design and have actually done some crazy work. They designed speakers for Bang & Olufsen. So yeah, Noto Design, the design studio in Germany. Damn, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so, you know, I think it's more so like, I think the design kind of comes from a different perspective. It's the way I feel about the board. Anytime I see boards similar to this like vibe, it always comes from people that have experience very outside of like our realm, where, you know, we have certain set standards on keyboard look. So they tend to stand out pretty quickly. Boards like this. Yeah, like in the industrial design industry, yeah. So you can kind of see that, you know, big rectangular, boxy, and at the same time, like playing with layers and lines and angles here. It's pretty cool. I think I do agree with you, UUB, that the keyboard hobby design can a bit echo chamber. Yeah, it's because people tend to go for what's been tried and true. I think that's what usually happens in the space, in any hobby space for that matter, is that people will gravitate towards the designs that have been successful or have been well known to be, you know, a good design because it sounds or feels good or it's lauded by a lot of people, and so it'll derive from there. But I think, you know, and I also really like the idea of open sourcing stuff like this. I think it always advancements in like innovation in things like this usually comes from the perspective of from things that don't have claim on that particular IP, like things that are open sourced, things that people can mess around with, things that people can build upon. And so I think it's cool that they do that. Granted, you know, this applies a pretty big constraint for keyboard design, because it is, you know, a certain thickness, and certain dimension, so it needs to, like, you need to have a space for it in their case. So you like the bezel proportions and whatnot can be more constrained, but again, it starts from an idea like this and then can, you know, you can derive into so many other new things, which is pretty cool. I like that. I think that's always nice to see, from, you know, whether it's notorious designers or not. I don't think it matters, but I personally appreciate work that has a little bit of that personal touch, and then work that also has a bit of that like extra element to it. Oof, adverts. Oh yeah, I think Twitch just inserts them whenever they want, so I put them as minimal as possible, but yeah. Okay, so I think what we can do next is perhaps we can actually we can take it apart. And should we try some? Do you guys want to try some different switches on this too? You guys want to see some maybe MX clears or something? Should I try that? Because the stabs are done, so it won't be too hard to get it all together. You can try maybe slightly softer gaskets and a different switch. So, and also maybe a different keycap set too. Yeah. So let's do that. Just gonna go ahead and take off switches and whatnot. Maybe for the next build, we'll just default to the gray case. So I'll put this on. I'll put these gaskets over here. Put the green one away for a second. Zoom these out a little bit. Let's go ahead and maybe take it apart. So let's do that. I should take off these two caps. Search. Oh, there, just came off. There's an empty spot in the market for a Keycaps-like luxury brand, I guess, right now. The brand presence Keycaps had in 2020 and such. Yeah, well, the brand presence Keycaps also had in 2020 was very distinctly marked by the growth phase of the hobby, being in, you know, like especially like in the middle of the pandemic. So it was a very circumstantially unique phase, I would argue. So, and also like the amount of competition they had was just different, I would say. Now, I think now that there has been a lot more proliferation of brands and whatnot, it's like there is a spot for something like that, but it would be a bit different, I would think. At least I think recognition-wise, I think anyone can get the recognition as a premium design studio. I mean, certainly, I would say like there have been very good brands that have kind of elevated themselves to that extent, right? Like Singa, and I think like Mode actually has really put themselves up to a very high level with in terms of like consistency and in terms of like putting themselves out there with a lot of their work. Like whether that might be at like more other professional events and just like having a presence out there in the scene. So yeah, I personally find their growth to be a pretty good example of establishing themselves in the scene and kind of like setting themselves pretty apart from the rest in a good way, I would say. Yo, can you put Dolch on this? Yeah, I could do Dolch. Yeah. Yeah, I think right now the consumer space, just in general, like nothing to do with just keyboards, has contracted quite a lot. Like people either have moved on to other hobbies and other things, but also like I think just about in general, people are consuming a lot less because things cost a lot more. Like especially for like in North America, like the cost of goods has gone up a lot. I mean, obviously due to current circumstance, but just in general, like groceries are more expensive, food is more expensive, transportation is more, like everything is just more expensive. So yeah, Moto would probably look better than Dolch. Yeah, it's a pretty cool gray. On this case, so I would say that Moto probably looks way better than the warm gray on Dolch. I got money as governments are spending 12 billion on raising oil prices. Yeah, we're in a tough spot, right, with regards to that kind of stuff. So. And oh yeah, I guess for those who were like concerned over me trying different combos of stuff, later once the stream is done, like later this weekend, probably I'll try, when I'm like recording stuff, I'll try doing like GMK with the Nixies and whatnot as well. So you know, it'll be up there later on. Which color top is that? This one's the gray one. Pretty sure. I can maybe open it on the page and show you which one. Let's see, bottom case, top cover. Or I guess charcoal black is technically the color name. It's charcoal black, but it's like a dark gray. It's like a cool gray, but it will be the charcoal black technically. It's like charcoal color, I guess is what they call it. $2 per liter got so lit. That's pretty expensive. $2 per liter. Actually, well, $2 per liter. Is that right? Actually, don't know what I was paying last time I was up in Canada, which was not long ago actually. Rich, you have a car? Don't live in GTA? Yeah, fair enough. GTA definitely pricey. Yeah, anytime I go, I'm like in the, you know, Markham, Richmond Hill area, so it's like, yeah. You straight don't need a car living there? I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe not for like North York and like, but like if you go further out, I feel like you kind of do need one. You know? Because their public transit's actually existent. I mean, that's fair. But still. Alright, let's try these clears. So, I don't think I updated my build command this whole stream. Totally forgot. But did people ask? A lot? I actually don't know. I guess I can update it this time. You have to be a little bit careful. These are desoldered clears, so just need to make sure they don't mess with the sockets here. Yo, how's it looking? It's pretty good. We started with some Nixies earlier, and now I'm switching to clears and a Well, the plate is the same as a PC plate, polycarb plate. But pretty good. So far, so good. Pretty nice sounding board. I like the way the gasket mount feels. It's not like the gaskets are big, so the feel is not very like, it doesn't feel so much like a very bouncy trampoline. We'll try some softer gaskets in a bit, see how that goes. But yeah, so far so good. I got some vent blacks, but the pins have some leftover solder. How can I clean them for hot swap? So you can do what I'm doing. So you, for example, let me grab a switch that has some extra solder on it. Most of them, these are sort of clean. Okay, so this one has a little extra solder on the pin. So you just grab a, I mean, if you have a soldering iron, you grab a hot soldering iron. You obviously clean the tip, and then you just want to melt off the rest of the solder, sort of like wick it away. So you just want to wick it away, clean off the tip. So you're just kind of like reflowing that solder away from the pin. Obviously be careful not to melt the plastic of the housing. And that should be good enough. Yeah, obviously if you use flux, it's a lot easier. Yeah. In my case, my soldering iron tip is pretty tinned, so no problems. But yeah, if your iron tip is pretty like rusted out, or like it has a lot of burnt, you know, like it's a little burnt solder or whatever, or burnt flux or whatever, then you wanna yeah, you wanna put some flux and fresh flux and try that. So I definitely need an iron. Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, it's basically, you have literally, you know, hot metal that cooled off on it and is stuck on the pin. So yeah, you need to reheat that to get it off. It's not just gonna come off as easily. I mean, sometimes it just beads off a little bit, but if you really want to take it off fully, then you do need a soldering iron. Yeah. Oh, I have a MX gray, tactile gray. Cool. I'll use it. I forget about even using them in hot swap to begin with. Usually it's not a problem if you do a pretty decent desoldering job. Like I did a pretty good job on these, so most of them are pretty clean. But yeah, I would say in most cases, desoldering jobs are not the cleanest, and so you might end up having some remnant solder. So it can be a pain in the butt, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you yeah, I mean, ideally you just use them for a solderable build, and that's the easiest way to deal with it. Yeah. Put some of these aside because I like either bent a pin or need to clean it off a little bit. I think, but yeah, I think some people do exaggerate. Like, oh, like if you have any solder on your pins, it's game over. You can't use them on the hot swap. That's not true. The way the sockets are designed, they use like a sort of like this clamping, like tulip like sort of like leaflets on the socket themselves. So it's like even if you have a little solder, it's like no big deal. It's mostly that people then go ahead and apply a ton of stress when they push the switch in. It's like if you're facing a lot of pushback from the socket, maybe don't keep pushing. Got curious because I saw that since I didn't see you had your iron. Yeah, I have it on the side here. Now it's on. So I am cleaning some switches, like just a few that have a little extra solder. Like I think these 4 right now need a little extra cleaning, but for the most part these are fine. And also when putting switches into hot swap PCBs, advisable to use 2 hands instead of just winging it and doing it on the board, like on top of the keyboard, because just pressing it from one end will can cause the socket to come off because you're just basically pushing too much from one side and not reinforcing it from the other. Like, you know, holding with 2 hands like this to basically allow the socket to stay in place as you push the switch in. And if it's not going in easily, then it's probably not aligned properly, so, or the pin is too fat or something like that. It's good to always take the extra precaution. Okay, almost done with switches, actually. last one. All right. All done. Okay, so this time let's put our softer gaskets. Maybe I'll do medium or soft. I actually don't know. Maybe I'll do soft. See how that feels. Maybe too soft, but we'll see. Okay. Quite soft. Okay. Okay, lined up and on. All right, and I think Lamb suggested trying Moto, Modern Dolch. You can do that. Give me a minute. I'll be right back with it. Jackmet, hello, how's it going? PVT less but better is a canonical set for this board though, I swear. I don't have it. But I understand. F? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna look nice. Swara could also be nice. Yeah, Swara could also be good. Okay, these soft gaskets are actually super soft. Well, significantly at least. Definitely see that plate just like go down as I'm pressing the keycaps on. Have you tried PBS caps much? I've tried them like once, so not too much, no. The bezels are throwing me off. They just look weird. They're kind of on the thick side, so yeah. just to thicken the chin. Oh, like here. I can see that. Should we do an accent or no accent on this? We could do like the teal accent or something. Maybe I'll do a teal. This one. Very quintessentially moto. All right, there we have it. And let's put some new caps here. Maybe for that, I'll do, yeah. So will it fit here? Right, huh? I don't know. Oh. Maybe I'll use the little pigeon and all right. We are back online. Let's give this a shot, shall we? So again, if you want to see it with the wrist rest, I can put it on just for display purposes since I don't really use it. Okay. Oh wait. Wait, did it plug in? Oh, I think this switch, one of the switches here is not. I think this pin bent or something. Let me just check that. Yeah, bent pin. All right, let's try this out now. Oops, maybe this way. All right, this time we have it with MX clears on a polycarbonate plate and GMK Modern Dolch for the keycaps. Let's give this a shot, shall we? All right, let me know what you guys think. Oh, and the soft gaskets. So surely let me fix that build command real quick. I think I didn't do it earlier, and now I'm kind of like thinking I should have done it. So right now we have built with cherry mix clears, lube with what are these lube with? What is that? 2.5 lube with 2.5 G0 with 62 gram springs and Swaki's films. They're mounted on a polycarbonate full plate. Yeah. And now we have MX clears, PC plate, no foam, soft gaskets, Jim Kimoto. All right, let's give this a shot, guys. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh wait, I think the mic is a little far away. Okay, here we go. There it is. Pretty nice, right? These clears are pretty good. Pretty nice, nice MX clears. And it sounds pretty good. Sounds like a keyboard. It sure does. All right, I can go through the mods. I can definitely, with the soft gaskets, I can definitely feel this assembly really like shaking in place. It's a lot of movement. I think my preference is still with the harder gaskets on this board, but the softer gaskets definitely, you know, really amplify that feeling of like vibration sort of traveling around the board. Excuse me. But it does feel pretty comfy. I think overall though, the board doesn't really have many dead spots or anything like that. Like there really aren't any. I think the only thing is if you are using the spacebar gaskets, maybe consider using a softer one if you are going to use it. If you don't, then you can also leave it intact without it, and it won't really be an issue. And you know, you can kind of see from how the gaskets are currently placed that you know, they are sort of like around the perimeter evenly. There's 5 at the top and 5 at the bottom. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting design in my opinion. I think they actually have executed it quite nicely, and I personally am kind of a fan of the way it sounds. I think it's a pretty nice way of doing gasket mount, and the fact that these blocks can be modular or like changed according to whatever your design you know, wants it to be, then it's pretty cool. It truly has a nice kind of like from the ground up sort of approach, and it is pretty visually different. So if you are into the look, definitely I think it's a pretty nice board, genuinely. I know that Mike from Novel Keys was pretty excited about this board, and I definitely have to say that it's pretty nice. It's really good. If you like bigger designs like these, then by all means consider it. But it is a pricier it's just a pricier board overall. So of course, at your discretion. Yeah, can you see different tops for this build? Yeah, of course. So right now this is the gray top. Now I'll just take it off. Oops. The gaskets are kind of strong. I mean, the magnets, my bad. So just have to be careful there. I'll grab the green one, and the magnet is pretty strong. So there is a green top case. Green top case, gray top case, green top case. It's a nice, like a military green sort of tone. Quite nice. Quite nice. Again, nice and neutral look overall. But yeah, there's your side profile, 4-degree typing angle. Oh. 1 second. Okay, so yeah, what do you guys think? Green. Do you guys like the green better, or do you guys like the gray better? I think I'm a charcoal black gray color for this one, but the green it's a nice green. This is a really nice green. It actually goes pretty nicely with the base color. So, but I mean, with Moto here specifically, obviously this one looks pretty perfect. Yeah, so. So again, I can show you what the blocks look like, the gasket blocks. So this is the medium right here. So it's soft, medium, and hard gaskets like that. Oh, yeah, he's eating. Oh, cute. Okay, sorry about that. Someone had to walk by. Depends if you like warmer, cooler toned colors. Both are good choices. That is true. I think I'm into this. Yeah, this like gunmetal gray though. It's a nice color. Yeah. But yeah, I can show the design over here. Maybe I'll take off the overlays here. I'll zoom out a little bit. And, so there it is. This is the Artifact Industries Stratum-80. Very cool. I dig it a lot, actually. I think the way this is implemented is quite nice. There's our little polycarb kind of diffuser over there. You can sort of see it. That's the copper bottom plate. And once again, the top. There you have it with Moto. So yeah. Okay. Any other things? Any questions about it? Anything like that? Forgot to mention, will enable support for step caps for customer units. Oh yes, that'll be great. I think that'll be a nice addition. I was mentioning earlier that certainly, you know, would be a no-brainer to it, I think. But I think other than that, my feedback is, I think generally I think it sounds really good. Sounds and looks pretty good. And yeah, step caps like support aside, I do really enjoy the modularity of these gaskets. The only thing I did have a concern with was over the design of the wrist rest, basically the alignment with the case. Effectively, you have metal to metal contact that's a little bit worrisome. So fitment of this to this part, effectively you have potential to metal surfaces that can scratch each other or, you know, damage each other over time. So maybe something to prevent that, like even if it's like a small silicone spacer or anything, like a little divot for that spacer, and then just kind of have it padded along to prevent that kind of damage over time. I think that would be nice for the wrist rest, for any wrist rest users. Yeah. There's people who have done it by adding bump-ons or something like that along the front edge, or in this case it could be along the horizontal edge over here as well. Yeah. Aside from that, I think everything else has been pretty convenient. I didn't find issues taking anything apart on the bottom plate or the PCB. As we can see, it's a pretty, I guess, regardless of whether you use or don't use foam, it's kind of up to you. So it sounds pretty good without, which is already a sign of a very nice sounding board. So that's pretty good. So yeah, I don't have any other concerns. Cable, that's fine. Placement of this, that's all good. So yeah. It's 99% there. The last 1% is wob. Hi Avo, it's been a minute. How are you? Sound difference between copper and stainless steel? It depends on the board, in my opinion. Copper and brass are basically identical because, you know, one's an alloy of the other. So they're pretty much very, very similar. For stainless steel, I think some people say that they find it to sound a little, forget, was it brighter? I think it was. Yeah, because I think if I recall correctly, copper and brass are a little denser than stainless steel, so they tend to have a little bit more, slightly more absorptive property there. But I think it kind of depends on the board, yeah, on how it's mounted and how much like contact there is between the surface areas. Yeah. Yeah, rebuild it again. I did a lot already. Okay, so I think I will wrap things up here then. It's been a fun time. But yeah, for those who are looking forward to this design, I think it's a pretty nice design. It definitely comes with a premium, but it is modular. It is convenient to build. It's pretty easy to build, actually. And I think it's pretty elegant. I think it's pretty cool. I would love to see more designs like this, you know, in our hobby, because I think that makes things evolve a little further. So I can definitely appreciate this being in the space. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's check if there is anybody to rate at this point. It's on the later side today. So, oh, is that Chris? Chris is streaming, Patty is streaming, Merlots is streaming. Oh, there's a few keyboard people streaming. Rare. Actually, I guess it's the time zone thing, but yeah. But wonderful. Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming by, Find Your Zero, and everybody else, everyone who stayed from Alex's rate, thank you. As always, I really appreciate it. I will be building another European design, so to speak. Another designer from Europe, Antipody Studio. I will be building that on Saturday afternoon, I think. So that'll probably be a EU-friendly stream. That'll be the logos board. I think that's I think it was an FRL TKL, so a little bit different. But I'll be building that later this Saturday. But yeah, no stream tomorrow. So yeah. But yeah, today's board, very nice. I really like it. Let's go raid Chris Keyrist. If you don't know, I don't think I've raided her before, so I think it would be nice to raid. Nice, raid right at the end. Oh yes, you did. Yes, but I can do some random typing for jabronas. MX clears on polycarbonate. And the soft gaskets. I think my setup's a little boomy right now with the mic. I don't know why. Need to address that actually. All right, folks. I shall see you guys later, but I will be posting up, photos and typing sounds on YouTube later. Probably this weekend. Actually, no. Early next week. I'll be recording that stuff this weekend, but it'll probably be posted early next week. Because this group buy is open for a little while longer, so until mid-April. So you guys got time to design and stuff. But yeah, you'll see. I'll probably try both the Nixies and the clears and put some sound tests up there with maybe both with GMK, so you guys can get like a one-to-one kind of comparison. Yeah, and maybe I'll keep it with the same gaskets, the hard ones. I think that's the ones I liked. Okay, take care. Bye bye.